Good afternoon, St. Mary's. This is third time's a charm. My sound didn't work, so I was just talking to nothing earlier. So if you were at Mass yesterday, you saw that the next book in the question series is out. This is groundbreaking. I know everybody was on the edge of their seats waiting for the next one. So I actually wrote another one, and then I realized I had to get this one out before Lent, so I put that together really fast. Excellent book. So Secrets of the Rosary is... this book is basically just a collection of stories from Secrets of the Rosary by Louis de Montfort, and it just has stories about the power of the Rosary, and then I have a reflection after each one that I thought was worth thinking about. So I wrote this book with the intention of helping us to accomplish our Lenten challenge for this year. So not like yesteryear I guess works, but like last year, I am offering to paint my hair either one of the 6 liturgical colors. So let's see if I can remember. White would be awesome. Black is technically one, but I didn't put it on there. But that would be cool. Green, obviously. Red for the martyrs. Don't tell me. Gold. So if I do gold, then I'll like sprinkle glitter in my hair so that it actually, I don't know if we would use actual gold. That would be expensive. And then the last one is rose. Okay, so technically rose is a liturgical color. So I felt like it would be cheap to just put it on the back burner. But because it's more humiliating, we're gonna extend the amount of prayers needed. So it's 40,000 for the first 5, and then 80,000 for the last one. But it seems like people either love me or hate me. They either will love me and they want to pray more for me, or they don't love me and they said, "Hey Tom, we've already got a group together that's gonna pray the Rosary every day." So at the end of the day, it's in my favor, whether they like me or not. But I think it'll be interesting. Last year was a strange experience, so I am looking forward to this year. So I wanted to tell you how it's going to happen. So these little quarter sheets, so I haven't cut this up yet, but quarter sheets are going to be at the back of the church. So every Sunday, you can grab multiple. So if you said 3 rosaries, then you would grab 3 sheets, and then you would check the box. I prayed with a family member. If I'm a parishioner, if I'm a student, I prayed with my parents. I don't know if you can read that, but I read 3 of the stories from the Rosary booklet this last week, at least. And then you circle one of the colors and you write a prayer intention. And so that's basically it. Again, it's 40,000 for the 5 and then 80,000 for the rose. And we shall see what happens. So my favorite story in this whole book, I think is, let's see if I can find it off the top of my head here. 33. So it's very intense. Like it almost seems like a fantasy. It doesn't seem realistic, but it's actually consistent with what other exorcists have experienced, or at least from what they've heard, it matches up with the information. So it seems super dramatic, and there's a lot going on. But yeah, the information is in fact consistent with other stories that exorcists have mentioned, or through their experiences. So I really highly encourage you to read it. Again, it's just stories about people who had died and saw the power of the Hail Mary, or saints who saw it executed through their own lives. So it's pretty amazing, and it's helped me to pray my rosary, especially these last couple of days. I was like, wow, because I read the book before, but it's always helpful to get a reminder. And so the rosaries for the last few days have just been very powerful for me. So I love getting this stuff out there. The second thing is, what was the second thing? Give me a sec. I'm going to pause it so I can think. Okay, we got it. So there was a video I watched with the confirmation students, and there's high schoolers. There's a group of them praying 4 rosaries a day. So I guess they were inspired, but at one point they were just in a really tough place, and their youth pastor inspired them to to pray the full four. And he was mentioning that it's just testimony after testimony on how these kids' lives have radically been changed. And a lot of them came from drugs or broken families and stuff like that, so they experienced a lot of sadness. And then, yeah, it just transformed them. And now they want to do all these different things that they had no desire for before. They want to become these great saints. And it's actually pretty interesting because every person that I know who's striving for sanctity, there's only one thing that unites them all, and they all say the Rosary. And they are just like head over heels for the Lord, and they're just striving, right? They're just living holiness. And going back to it, it's like, well, we got one chance to place ourselves in heaven, right? We're going to rank ourselves in heaven. And one of the reflections here, I mentioned that that the saints have said, the ones that have seen heaven, that we would be willing to go through a lifetime of pain just to get 1 inch closer to God, or just to have loved God one more time. They said if they could come back to earth, they would have gone through a lifetime of suffering to just love God one more time. That's the payout in heaven. So we can't fathom that. Like, I wouldn't be willing to suffer for anything for a lifetime. But apparently it's worth it. And so what could be a greater thing in our lives than this desire to become a saint? And then every day we're just working to love God with all our hearts, all our minds, all our strength, which is what God asks us to do anyways. But she'll give us that desire. She gives us those graces. It just depends on how much we're willing to give her. And I want to do the 4 rosaries. I have a spiritual director who either gives me the thumbs up or the thumbs down on that, but that's a whole nother subject. But yes, but I think it would be awesome, and just kind of growing in love for God. I love Lent. I mean, it just always adds so much joy to my life, and I just kind of cut everything that I don't need out, and it's like, wow, I'm just like happier anyways. I wish I could just like move to a cave and just do this for the rest of my life. That sounds pretty strange. But it's true, though. The joy is amazing. When we have all these, when we just leave God in our lives and we take everything else out, it's just like, that's as close as heaven as you can get. But I can't explain that to you. People have to experience that, and then you'll believe me. But if you can't do the 4 rosaries, strive for one. But before we die, let's see if we can get the 4 rosaries in. My grandma would say 11 rosaries every day, and she gave me her rosary, and it was the paint was worn off. I'm convinced that she bought my conversion. Saint Blessed Fulton Sheen says that every soul has a price tag, and mine was pretty high. So we can pay for. Well, that's actually the case. We can merit graces for other souls, and saying the rosary is kind of the best way to do that. So, all right, I have to go, but thank you for watching. God bless, and I hope I see you with pink hair. All right, have a great day. Bye.